Just want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, episode number 7. Conversation I want to get into today is Jermall Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade. There's many reasons why this fight should happen. Let's get into the conversation.
Hey, though. Good job, man. Good job, man. Big fan. What's up, though?
I know that.
When can we make it happen, though? What do you think?
Man, you fight with no body.
Okay.
Hey, you are a champion, but what?
Wait, you avoid him at 54, you avoid him at 160, now you're going to avoid him at 168.
Come on, guys, this is not the place. Let's get
This is how it's always done this way. No. It's always done this way.
Listen, they don't want this. Listen to me. They don't want it.
What's good, though, man? What's up? Now I want to fight, though. So let's do it then. Let's do it. Why we always talking like this?
Why you always talking?
Why you always
running? 160 is my weight division.
I'm sorry?
160 is my weight division. I want to unify. I want to get Golovkin in the ring. I want to bring him to Houston. You know what I'm saying? I want to get Canelo out here to Houston. If they really to come down to 160, this is my weight division. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to reign at 160. What is this, my fourth title defense? I got many more to go. I'm young. I'm hungry.
That shit don't work when the animal's out. That shit don't work then. They do that dog shit with, like, you know, beginners and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
This is my take on the reason why these two guys should fight. Both guys are phenomenal fighters. Both guys are champions. But the bigger conversation is, how do you get to Canelo? Canelo is the biggest boxer in the sport right now. He controls the pace. I don't care what weight class he's getting the fair share of boxing greatness right now. He's moving up in weights, grabbing all the titles. And he's doing the biggest numbers. He's getting the biggest paycheck, so you've got to give it to Canelo. I'm a big fan of Canelo. I love his style. I love what he represents. It don't matter where a fighter come from, nothing like that. I enjoy just true boxing. But as far as Canelo, if you really want to get to him, I think Andrade and Jermall Charlo, despite the history, they got to come together and they got to say, hey, look, we're gonna do business. I know you messed up with Jermall Charlo, my little brother, and Jermall Charlo could be looking at it like revenge, and I think revenge gets you up in the morning. You want to, hey, you did bad business with my brother, so I'm gonna take up for him. I think that it could be a good storyline for pay-per-view. I do think this fight is a huge pay-per-view. I think that the fans will tune in. I would definitely tune in. I don't care how much it costs. I definitely buy it. I know the fans will buy it with no issues, and I think everybody go home and everybody's a winner. The biggest thing is you got those two guys. They got to figure out a way to back Canelo into a corner to actually get him up and have the big media outlets actually talk about them and the matchup between Canelo. Give a reason why Canelo should be fighting either one of these guys. I don't want to really pick a winner. This conversation is more about the road to getting to Canelo Alvarez. That's the biggest question that a lot of fans have. How do you get this guy to fight one of these guys? Because Canelo, in the back of his mind, he got to be thinking like, hey, either one of these fights could be super massive, but they are on the lower end of the totem pole because they're not as popular, they're not as big as Canelo, and Canelo have earned the right to be as big as he is because it takes a lot to get into the ring, and he fights in like at least every 4 or 5 months. That's at least what he did last year. So people kind of get onto him and say, hey, Canelo haven't faced the best champions or whatever, but he has faced every champion that was a champion. So how do you can't really dispute how many championship belts Canelo have obtained in the last couple years, and the path that he's taken. But if some of these fighters like Jermall Charlo, David Benavidez, even though he's not really a part of this conversation, and he should, I kind of hit on a piece on another one of my videos, so please go check that one out. But I think Jermall Charlo and Andrade, this fight has to happen. This fight is too close. you know, they got the history, they got words, they got everything to make up for a good fight, good pay-per-view. Show each other, hey, we can get into the ring and we can handle business, and we can force Canelo to come down to 160 and actually unify these, take these 2 belts from us. That's the, you know, the thing that's the beauty about boxing. You know, 8 pounds, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't hurt Canelo to come down 8 pounds. But the question is, how do you get him to come down 8 pounds? And even if they unify with each other, no matter who wins, I think any one of them can move up to 168 because they have something from TV to build on. You say, hey, look, we unified at 160. One of us is moving up to 168. And so Canelo is already undisputed champ at 168. So that makes for even like a massive pay-per-view. Probably one of the biggest fights that can happen because Canelo is the biggest star in boxing right now. So, you know, I think all the talking and all the other stuff, man, I think the fight could get made. I think Eddie Hearn is doing an even better job with his fighters that's up under him, or fighters that he's just working with. I can see it in his face. He really wants these fighters to fight the best fighters. And he's doing even better with sticking up for his fighters. And I think Al Heyman, you can't say enough about Al Heyman because these guys are getting paid on their side of the street. But you know, I think it's easy to make one of these fights happen. I think these networks are breaking down. They know they got to come together to actually promote fights now. So I don't think it's no more side of the streets anymore. I think that stuff is dying down. But guys, let me know what you think about this conversation and the best way it should be handled. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, episode number 7. I just want to give a shout out to my man Clayton Young. He's been killing in the comment section. He was one of the first guys to to actually subscribe since I've been back on YouTube, and he has been loyal. So I'll be loyal to him as well. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't continue to do this. But you guys give me the motivation to keep doing these videos, keep improving on my content. But keep expressing what you feel about each topic that I bring up. I want to try to bring a different dynamic to the sport of boxing with my commentary and what I think, my views. But like I say, I just want to thank everybody. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. You guys drive me every day to improve on every little thing or every little aspect on my videos and my content. So hope you guys are enjoying it. But before we get out of here, you know what I always say before we cut the video. If you want to shop for my clothing line, shoptachi.com. And down in the description below, all my links will be down there for all social media platforms that I'm on. So go down there, check all that stuff out. Go check out Twitch. I got more boxing content on there. So please go check it out, man. I got some pretty cool stuff over there. And I will build another IG page for Big Bear Boxing Squad. But we're going to go ahead and end it. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad.